Welcome to Arts Focus. I'm Elise Buchheit, a program specialist for the Columbia Office of Cultural Affairs. Today I'm joined by Ed Hanson, executive and artistic director at TalkingHorse Productions. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So you guys are in your seventh season.
Seventh season already.
How have you evolved during that time?
Me personally or the company? No, I'm just old and tired, but the company's doing great. We started in 2012 at the old Berlin Theater, which was one half the north side of where Cafe Berlin is today. And then we moved to our new location in 2013. So that was one big evolution that we went through. But we're still figuring things out in a way. We've produced 6 shows a year, which we've always done. We launched into doing a touring children's play in our second season to a lot of the area schools and libraries. And then this past year, we were kind of discovering that the current venue that we're in is really great for intimate concerts and comedy improv. And so we're working now on promoting our venue, not only for theater that we produce, but theater that other people produces that they want to bring in, or like I said, concerts and comedy and all kinds of things. So it's a very active place, much more so than it used to be.
Yeah, I love that collaboration among the different groups in town. That's fantastic.
Well, here's an example. Audra Sergel, who's a jazz musician here in town, put something out on Facebook about doing a summer cabaret at some point. And suddenly she had like 50 performers that all wanted to be a part of it. And so she contacted me. We found an open weekend in July that would work. And so now we've got that on the schedule. We're going to do a whole weekend of cabaret music.
Awesome.
It's just
Mark your calendars.
Really fun to just discover those things.
That's great. So you said you do 6 shows a season. Mm-hmm. You've already done 2 for this season.
That's correct.
What do you have left?
Well, coming up in June 8th to be specific, we'll open a new show, a world premiere play by Matt Broughton, who is originally from Minnesota, now lives in the LA area, but he is the brother of Elizabeth Broughton Palmieri, who runs Greenhouse Theater Project. And Liz and I are friends, and so she had done a concert reading of this play several years ago to help Matt out. And she contacted me and she said, my brother's written this great play that'd be wonderful in your space. It's not the type of theater that Greenhouse produces, but it's more the style of play that we produced. And so I got in touch with Matt. I read the script. He's made several revisions, and we're doing draft number 11 of The Wedding Present, which will open June 8th.
What's it about?
Well, it takes place in Minnesota on a farm. A farmer who's never been married before. He's in his early 40s, and he's marrying a young woman who's a lawyer. She has a very domineering mother who's kind of taken over the wedding. The wedding is going to be held at the farm, so the main set is the interior of the farmhouse. And the wedding present happens to be a surprise guest that shows up. I don't want to give too much of it away, but it's someone from his past. It is a comedy, but there's an awful lot of lessons to be learned in this play about accepting other people and just sort of rolling with the punches sometimes. It's the best way I can say it. So I think that it's just a really charming play. We put it in June because it's wedding month. So
absolutely.
It kind of works well that way too. Matt is free from, he does some teaching, and so he's free in the summer. It allows him to come in, so he's going to come in from Los Angeles for the first weekend of the show, and he's actually going to conduct a playwriting workshop for us on that Saturday, June 9th at the theater.
So you've got the workshop on June 9th, and then when does the show run?
It runs the 8th through the 10th, and then I'm going to get this open just to make sure the dates are right, and then the 14th through the 17th, which will be Thursday through Sunday the second week.
Great. So several opportunities to see it. 7
performances altogether.
Awesome. That sounds great. And what else do you have for the rest of the season?
Well, coming up in August, we've got a new comedy by David Lindsay Abair, who's best known for writing Good People, which was a huge hit on Broadway several years ago, and we produced it also. And we also produced a play by him called Fuddy Mears in our very first season. He writes kind of dark comedy, and this is called Ripcord. The main 2 characters are 2 women who live in an assisted living facility. They are put together as roommates, and they don't want to be together, and so they make a bet with each other that whoever flinches first basically has to leave the room, because it's a primo room in the assisted living facility. So it's mostly set in their room, but there's also some scenes in a haunted house, and even one where they're skydiving. We're going to be using some projections for that.
Ripcord, I see.
Ripcord, that's right. In October, 3 weekends of Sweeney Todd. We wanted to continue our thought about doing sort of a classic piece, but redoing it for black box theater. And so this is the first time we've tackled kind of a big musical, and we're going to shrink it down. Trent Rash is directing that for us. Works over at Stevens. And Trent's got a really interesting vision of how to turn this into sort of a psychological thriller instead of just the blood thing that a lot of people expect. So I'm very excited to be working with him on this concept. And then in December, we're going to do a little play called Clever Little Lies, written by Joe DiPietro, who we've done a couple of his plays. The Last Romance was one, and then a couple of years ago, Over the River and Through the Woods. He's a New York-based playwright. I saw this play off Broadway 2 years ago, called Clever Little Lies. Marlo Thomas was in it. And it's about a young man who confesses to his father that he's been having an affair. He's a new dad himself with a fairly new marriage, has this infant, and he's thinking about leaving his family and running off with this
So
person.
happy holiday theater.
And the husband can keep no secrets from his wife, and so the mom finds out about this and decides that it's going to be her job to save that marriage. So all kinds of wild things ensue, and it's a really cute comedy, very clever, very light, a little message in it, but for the most part it's pretty easy. Last year we did this opera version in December of Hugo Vianello's story, An Antique Carol. And so this year we're going to not do a holiday piece because we're going to bring the opera back in 2019. So
fantastic.
Yeah, so we just decided we would not try to do something holiday in December this year.
Sure. Well, those all sound really interesting. I know you've said your theater mission or your kind of ethos is a little bit more character driven.
Right.
And those all sound like great opportunities.
And we've actually, because I wanted to do this play so badly, and it's a 2-person play, we're sticking it in September. So we've got a bonus this year. We're doing Tuesdays with Maury, which is based on the Mitch Albom book. 2-man play, deals with a young man who's reconnected with an old college professor who's dying from ALS. So very, very powerful story. We've got fabulous actors working on that. J.J. Musgrove, who's also directing it, is playing Mitch, and Aaron
When
Krawitz,
will that be?
And Aaron Krawitz is playing Maury. That'll be in September. Let's see the dates on that real quick. September 7th through the 9th and the 13th through the 16th.
Wow. Well, you guys have so much going on. Where can people go to find out all of the show
the website's
info?
the best place to visit. We keep it very updated. TalkingHorseProductions.org. But if they're on Facebook a lot, we post stuff practically daily on Facebook and keep people very up to date on what's going on there. So either source is a good place.
Facebook or the website.
That's
well,
right.
Great. So many awesome shows to look forward to. And thank you for sharing with us today.
Absolutely.
That's another segment of Arts Focus. Thanks for joining us.